Good morning once again and welcome back to New Day. It's now time for the Chamber, and this morning we take a look at the relevance of commissions of inquiries. Now, government has been criticized for setting up another commission of inquiry to investigate the participation of the Black Stars at the World Cup hosted by Brazil. Now, critics argue the law does not permit individuals interrogated at commissions of inquiries to be prosecuted when adverse findings are brought up against them. Beside the Ghana at 50 court case involving Dr. Reku Brobe and former Chief of Staff Kojun Pieni, who were discharged by Anakra Fast Track High Court. Now, today on the Chamber, we're examining the law that sets up commissions of inquiries and also find out if they are indeed useful or relevant at all. And my guest this morning is Kweku Ifrifa Insia Asari. Good morning, Kweku.
Good morning.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Looking very dapper as always.
Thank you.
Right now,
respectfully.
I see. So is this why there's this argument as to whether or not findings that are found out at these commissions can't go on to be prosecuted?
Now, under Article 2802, the Constitution says that the report of the Commission is deemed to be a High Court judgment. And so...
so if it's deemed to be a High Court judgment, then it's enforceable.
Precisely. Now, there are steps after the report have been given in the Constitution that would actually culminate in the report being deemed as a High Court judgment. Elaborate steps, i.e. the President issuing a white paper, and if he doesn't issue a white paper, what processes would have to go on into before it is deemed as a High Court judgment. Now, these have led to basically two schools of thought. Generally, at common law, which our legal system ascribes to, there is a presumption against self-incrimination, i.e. that you might not successfully extract information from someone for purposes of incriminating him or prosecuting the person. So people have argued that on that basis, if I appear before a commission and give information to the commission, and that information is such as to incriminate me, then it cannot be used as a basis for prosecuting me.
But then how do you reconcile that against the provision that says that these commissions or the commissioners have powers akin to a high court?
Yes, it has powers akin to...
So if you're going there, you should have at the back of your mind that you're going to court, so you're going to a high court.
Not necessarily. It has powers akin to the high court, which are circumscribed. If you look at those powers...
So we're just limiting it to those three?
If you look at those three powers, it is solely... I think that the intention of the framers of the Constitution just wanted to aid commissions of inquiries to be effective in their work. And so they can basically... compel people to appear before it, compel people to give evidence before it, just so to aid their work, and not particularly to have all the extant powers of a high court.
So can these findings be prosecuted?
Well, as I was saying, there have been two schools of thought. Now, one school of thought that hinges on the fact that because our legal system ascribes to the general common law principle of presumption against self-incrimination, that if I appear before a commission and faithfully gives information to the commission, and that information is such that it can incriminate me, then on the basis of that, it cannot be used against you. That is the argument people are making. So then are these commissions, are they useful at all? They are, in my opinion, because I do not think, because the other school of thought is that fine, if assuming without admitting that we even agree to the presumption against self-incrimination, nothing derogates from or precludes another investigative body sitting elsewhere from investigating you regarding the subject matter and actually proceeding to prosecute you on the basis of that. So if you argue that you appeared before a commission for which reason and gave information for which reason it cannot be used against you, that would not, for instance, preclude BNI or the Criminal Investigation Department of Ghana Police Service to also institute their own investigation into the matters and for that purpose prosecute you. That is another school of thought. Right. And these are competing school of thoughts that I think should this basically... This was about the argument. And with specific reference to, just for us to understand properly, with specific reference to the Ghana 50 Commission, I think that the EI establishing the commission specifically stated that the people appearing before the commission may not be prosecuted regarding the information that they give before. So that's why they were the two gentlemen were discharged. Basically.
Right. Let's talk quickly about some of the functions of these commissions.
Right. Now, the functions of the commission, if you look at it carefully, is basically to sit and make inquiry into the subject matter of its establishment. And so it will sit and basically invite people who have knowledge about what it is that had gone on, for which it was set up to investigate, to basically come before it and go into the investigations, come out with their findings.
And then what happens to the findings? Can they be implemented?
Once the findings are published, in the sense of because it's the president who establishes the commission, once the report is submitted to the president is supposed to look at it and issue a white paper on it, and then oftentimes the report to make certain recommendations. And
in the past, have we seen this happen with the various previous commissions we've had?
We have.
Okay.
The problem we have, just like with any other, is when it comes to implementation of those reports. But you see, maybe then again somebody should test the law, because once it is of public interest and once it is akin to the judgment of the High Court, then it is subject to the regular enforcement procedures in our court.
Can one be cited for contempt in a commission of inquiry proceeding?
Well, that is another debate that is ongoing. But if you look at the laws establishing commissions of inquiry and the powers that are granted the commissions of inquiry, it does not appear to me that commissions of inquiry are vested with their powers to commit for contempt.
Right.
But it may appear that if
Has it happened before?
Well, I think recently, I was not in the country, but I think recently it happened before the current commission of inquiry. I think I heard in the news that somebody appeared before the commission, or might have stated something, and
it was cited for contempt.
Basically,
Quick, I'm almost out of time, but basically with the current one that we have, a lot of people have said that it's a knee-jerk reaction. I'm talking about the World Cup Commission of Inquiry to play to the gallery, basically because Ghanaians are football fans, and it's basically just to respond to the emotions of Ghanaians.
Well, this is more of a political or social debate than it is legal. I think that we should wait and see what happens to the report of the commission before some of us sit in professional capacities. Can the president
be summoned before the commission?
That is also another dicey
situation. Because people have also, kind of raised concerns about the effectiveness and the integrity of the whole procedure, because if you remember correctly, one of the most embarrassing episodes that took place during the whole World Cup fiasco was the president, allegedly, we've been told that the president was the one who sanctioned a certain amount of money, $3.5 million, to be sent to the Black Stars in Brazil, flouting a lot of banking laws, both local and international. So can he be dragged before the commission as well?
Well, that's another very dicey, because you see, the president is immune from legal actions, but this is not a legal action. That is one. I would want to stay strictly according to the law. This is not a legal action. The problem is that it is the president who sets up the commission, and it is to him that the commission's report is submitted. The question is that, can he then appear before the commission and give testimony, and what becomes of his testimony when it is submitted to him to review and to issue a white paper on it? That is also another debate.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this morning. Kweku Efrifa Nsiansare was my guest. He's a lawyer, and we've been talking about the relevance of commissions of inquiry right here on The Chamber.